Hey guys, it's Friday, our fifth day of doing video work at home. I got something special for you today. Maybe mom or dad told you, but there are two videos that I put in my regular email this morning. And the second one is kind of special. We're going to go on a field trip. Well, not really going to go on a field trip. We're going to go on what's called a virtual field trip, where I'm going to take the camera with me and you're going to see, I can't tell you yet, it's going to be a surprise. So, you're going to come with me on a field trip on the second video. First, we're going to get our work done today. So, let's start with our work. First is speed drill. Today's speed drill, according to our Friday, March 27th on our paper, is speed drill 90, number 3. I'm going to let you do that on your own whenever you feel like it. You can do it now or you can do it later, as long as you get speed drill page 90, number 3 done. I'm not going to read you the directions or anything. You don't really need directions for speed drills anyways anymore, because you're old pros at that. But we're going to hop right into math page 251 and 252. So go ahead and take those out of your book and put your name on top. Although it doesn't really matter, you can do the work first and then take it out later on. It doesn't matter to me. However, on page 252 of math, on top it says write the differences. Here we have some differences, and as you can see, all of these have zeros in the ones place on the top number. So you're going to need to borrow for each one of those, except for any of them that have a 0 on the top and a 0 on the bottom. We don't have to borrow for that because 0 is already big enough to take away 0. But for some of the other ones, we will have to borrow. Anytime the top number is smaller, that's how we know we have to borrow. So we'll do the top ones. Let's look at the first one together. 50 take away 14. Can 0 take away 4 in the ones place? Cannot. So we have to borrow from our good friend number 5, cross him out, and put a 4 on top, because 5 becomes a 4. Put our 1 down beside the 0, because now that 0 is a 10. And 10 take away 4 makes 6. And if we look in the tens place, we now have 4 take away 1, and that makes 3. If you want to pause it now and work on the rest of those in part 1, you may. Moving on to part 2. Write the temperature at the campground. Circle the clothes April should wear. In this case, April is not a month, it's a name of a girl. So let's look at the temperature. Look where the thermometer stops, where the red is, and then write in the temperature down there. Do you think she should wear the hoodie? Do you think she should wear the boots? Or do you think she should wear the snow coat or the winter coat? That will be for you to decide. Number 3. What time did April's family eat breakfast? Well, the clock tells us. Look where the hour hand is. Look where the minute hand is. Remember, the hour hand is the shorthand, always comes first. If it's between, we always go to the number that's before. And then we count the minute hand by 5s. And then we have to pick AM or PM. Do you think they had breakfast in the AM? Or do you think they had breakfast in the PM? We haven't been doing a lot of AMs and PMs. At the beginning of the year, we did a lot of AMs and PMs. But not so much lately. On to number 4. The children made a graph to see who took the most pictures on their camping trip. If we look at the graph, we have 3 children. We have Amy, we have Ben, and we have April. How do we know how many pictures they took? Well, they colored in blocks beside each child, but we can't count by ones. We have to look at the bottom of the chart to see what they're counting by. You can see 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 that they're counting by 5s. So each block is going to be worth 5 pictures. Now we're going to use that information to answer the questions right beside it. A. Who took the most pictures? Let's look at the lines. Was it Amy? Was it Ben? Was it April? How many did she take? Well, we can see beside that person, or beside all the people, how many blocks are colored in, and we got to count by 5s for each one. So, how many pictures did the person who took the most take? Letter B. Who took the fewest number of pictures? Letter C. How many more pictures did Amy take than Ben? Well, how many more always means That's right, takeaway. So, if we're going to find out how many more pictures Amy took than Ben, we have to start with how many Amy took, and take away how many Ben took to find how many more, and that will be our number sentence answer. And that will help us find how many more pictures Amy took than Ben. Number 5. Acadia National Park is the second busiest national park. How many national parks are busier than Acadia? Well, if it's second place, how many are busier than the second place one? Thinking question. I'll let you figure it out. So, you can pause now and finish page 252, or come with me and we'll do page 251. I'll give you the directions, then you can do it on your own. Number 1 says, mark the circle under the correct fraction. Here we have a bunch of pictures representing fractions. Look down below and color the circle for the fraction that matches that picture. Remember, the bottom number tells us how many in all, top number tells us how many colored in. Number 2, color 1/3 of each group. We figured this out yesterday. We practiced how to find 1/3 of a group. We count how many are all together in each group. Like in the first group we have honeybees. We have honeybees. We're going to count how many in all and make 3 groups that are the same. See how many that makes for each group. Then circle one of the groups in. It's going to be a different number for each group because each group has a different number of bugs. The honeybees has a different number than the mosquitoes. Mosquitoes have a different number than the black flies. Let's finish doing the honeybees together, then I'll let you do the mosquitoes and the flies on your own. Honeybees have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 honeybees all together, and when we have to make 3 equal groups, that means there's going to be 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 9. 3 groups of 3 makes 9. So 1/3 of a group of 9 is 3. So circle 3 honeybees. I'm not going to tell you for mosquitoes and for black flies, but I will tell you the answer is different because there's not 9 mosquitoes and there's not 9 black flies. There's different numbers for each one. Number 3. April and her family took a bike ride on a trail in Acadia. They rode for 2 hours and finished at 4:15 p.m. What time did they start? This time we got to go backwards in time because they ended at 4:15. They rode for 2 hours. That means we have to go back before then and figure out what time they started. So it's like the clock going backwards 2 hours. Number 4. Bass Harbor Head Lighthouse was built in 1858. The first lighthouse on Baker Island was built in 1828. How many years earlier was Baker Island Lighthouse built than Bass Harbor Head Lighthouse? Oh my word, that's a confusing one. But in the little workspace there, you'll see that the question is already written for you, so all you really have to do is figure out that answer to figure out how many years earlier Baker Island Lighthouse built than Bass Harbor. Oh my word, some of these are so confusing. It is made way easier than that. Anyways, number 5, here we have a counting pattern, counting by 1/2. 10, 10 and a half, 11, 11 and a half. Not going to tell you the rest because you're smart enough to figure it out, so I'll let you do that on your own. And that is our math today. Also, you'll notice I'm not in our regular classroom today. I'm in the... You've been here lots of times. It's the art classroom. There's a couple reasons why. Partly because I like to try new places sometimes to do my videos. Partly because Mrs. Trumble's sneaking around here. I don't want her to interrupt my video again. She likes to do that. So, you can pause it, finish your math, or we'll bump right into phonics. Hey, it's phonics time! Today we're going to do something a little bit new. We kind of did this before a few times in spelling group. So, you know what, before we start, I'm going to take the little camera. We're going to go over to the whiteboard for a second, just to introduce you to these. Sometimes we have words that sound the same but are spelled different, and we've done this in spelling class a couple times, and in phonics too as well. So sometimes I have to hold the camera with my left hand and write with my right hand. I'm not very good writing with my left hand. So let's say we have there, and there. We have 3 different kinds of there, and they all sound the same, but they have different meanings. This kind of there, if you remember, means belongs to them. That is their house or their ball. That's this kind of there. There means belongs to them. T-H-E-R-E usually means like a place, like, I see you over there, or there is my house. That's this kind of there. And the last kind of there is the contraction they are. Put together, there. They are. Let's see. We also learned about these two. We have this kind of write, which means like you write with a pencil or write with a marker. And this kind of write that has two meanings. Write like your right hand, or write like the correct answer. I do what's right. I write with my pencil. Those are two words that sound the same, but mean something different. All right, let's go back to where we were. Okay. And on top of 243, our phonics page, it says some words sound exactly the same, but they have different meanings and different spellings. And that's what we did on the board. Read the story carefully, then draw lines to match the words with the correct definitions. Now, we don't have to do anything in the story part. We're going to do something in the boxes down below after we read the story. Last Saturday, my brother wanted to find buried treasure. I wanted to help too. Follow along as I read. Mom told us to dig our hole beside the bush in the backyard. The wind blew hard. You see all the red words? Those are the ones that we're going to be using in the boxes down below. And some dirt got on my face, but we kept digging. I worked so hard that I got a blister on my right hand. At last, the shovel hit something hard. It was a blue box. Carefully, we lifted it out of the hole and raced to the porch. I ran fast, but my brother won. Inside the box, we found 2 small bundles wrapped in gold paper. Each of us unwrapped one. Each bundle had a whole orange, a piece of candy, and a gold sticker. I'm going to give JJ 1 million gold stickers. Who buried this treasure? We asked. Mom just smiled. Now, all those red words are in the orangish box, or the apricot color box, peach color, whatever you want to say, and the green color box. In the peach color box, we have 2 words that sound the same but have different meanings. They're the ones we just did on the board over there. We have right and right. We also have 2 T-O-O, T-W-O, and T-O. T-O is the one we use the most of, but T-O-O, T-O-O, and T-W-O also have different meanings. So let's look at right and right first. Draw a line to which meaning matches R-I-G-H-T. Does it match with to make letters or words? Does it match with use when T-O-O and T-W-O are not correct? Does it match with also? Does it match with a direction? And does it match with the number word too? Well, R-I-G-H-T could mean correct, or it could mean a direction. Like, I'm going to turn right. So, a direction is what R-I-G-H-T matches with. W-R-I-T-E. Which definition over there matches with W-R-I-T-E? Right. To make letters and words. Because when you write something, you're making letters and words. Now, we have 3 kinds of 2. T-O-O, T-W-O, and T-O. Now, let's do the one that's easiest first. T-W-O is definitely going to be the easiest. So, T-W-O we know is a number word. So, we're going to go to the number word. Now, we have 2 left. We know that T-O-O means too much, but it also means also. Also. So, T-O-O goes with also, and then T-O has to go with when T-O-O and T-W-O are not correct, because that's the one we use the most. In the green box, I'm going to read you the words, and I'm going to read you the definitions, and I'm going to let you do that one on your own, because you're going to use your thinky thinks. B-L-U-E blue, B-L-E-W blue, H-O-L-E whole, W-H-O-L-E whole, 1 O-N-E, and 1 W-O-N. I want you to read, after we read the definitions, I want you to draw lines to match the meanings that you think go with each word. Entire, to be first in a contest. Number 1, a color, to move air, an empty place in the ground, in cloth, etc. So, go ahead and work on that. You can pause it if you need to. We're going to go down to dictation now. For dictation, I'm going to read you a sentence, and the sentence is going to have some of those words from up there, so you're going to need to remember the definitions and how to put them the right way in the sentence. First one is, or the only one is, I use my right hand to write. We have two different kinds of write in that sentence. I use my right hand to write. I use my right hand to write. Make sure that sentence is written correctly the way it should be written. I use my right hand to write. You can pause it. Finish that on your own. When you're ready, unpause it. On to the back. Yesterday we talked about antonyms. Antonyms are just a fancy word that means opposites. And I know we know opposites. Hot, cold, stop, start, girl, boy, opposites. Antonyms are words that are very different. They are sometimes called opposites. Here we have some birdies. I don't know what that birdie's eating. I hope it's safe. Number 1, match the antonyms. I'm just going to get you started on this, and you're going to work on this side on your own. I'm going to read the left side, and I'm going to read the right side so you know the words, and then you will draw lines to match the opposites, or the antonyms. The first one's done for you. Asleep, awake. Awake. Asleep and awake are opposites. We have low, we have bad, we have lost, we have new, we have fast, we have right, and we have difficult, which is one of our vocabulary words. Wrong, awake, good, easy, slow, high, found, and old. So draw lines to match the words that are opposites. Number 2, we've been working with full and with less. So we're going to add full or less to these words to make it match the sentence. Sophia was not afraid to play the piano at a recital. Was she fearful or was she fearless? Remember, full means full of, and less means none of, or without. Second one, Max greeted Dad with a smile on his face. Was he cheerless or was he cheerful? The broken vase will have to be thrown in the trash. Was it worthless or worthful? Worthful, I don't know about that word. And last one, Grace sang happily and loudly. Was she joyful or joyless? And number 3, add ER or EST, and bigger or est and biggest, to the root word to make the words match the sentence. Aaron has 2 older brothers but no little brothers. Should we make younger or youngest? Mom gave me 2 cookies and I ate the little one first. Is it smaller or is it smallest? Gabe won the sack race at school. Is he faster or is he the fastest? Okay, when you're done with that, you can put that down. If you want to pause it now and finish that page or the other side, that's fine with me. And then come back as soon as you're ready. Next, I want to do a couple reviews of our special sounds. In, asleep. Were in, worms. Spool in, splash. If you know it, say it with me. Ood in, could. Omen, comb. In, rainy. Ch in, or k in, chorus. Sk in, school. Or in, more. I in, crystal. This is tricky because it's an I one. I in, crystal. Th in, thick. The in, this. Squ in, squeak. In, country. In, nurse. In, Christmas. That was a tricky one. We don't use that one very much. In, strung. In, me. Ought in, Thought. I'm in climb. 2 in this one. E in key. A in obey. Tur in train. Ow in out. Tw in twins. This is a hard one. This just tricks us all the time because we always think it's in bird, but it's really ire in fire. So if we see IRE together, it's ire in fire, like in admire or retire. Fire. Gl in blue. I in night. That's good enough for now. We'll do some more next time. Okay, last couple things I want to do is go over your history with you before you read it for today. History for today is 64 to 69. We finished up our Songs of America, and we're going to be starting a chapter called The People Who Built America. Okay, the people who were responsible for making our country what it was from the beginning. And the reason why some people came. Here's a picture of the Mayflower, which is an important boat from the beginning of our country. Brought the Pilgrims. And we're going to learn about the Pilgrims a little bit and why they came. You can read here, 64 to 60, what did I say? 69. So this is a really short one-page chapter, and we're going to go into this big word is called the separatists, and we're going to learn about what that means to be separatists. You can see a picture there of what it was like inside the boat, and some church services they were having to hide from the king. It was one of the reasons why the Pilgrims came anyways. To 69. So you read through here and read through here. The guys with the bullet heads, they're the British guys. They don't really have bullet heads, but their helmets are really weird. Okay, that's your history reading for today. We're going to read more about that next time. Last thing of the day is our reading work. Reading for today is all kinds of animals, 27 to 34. Let's see what animals we're getting into today. Looks like kitties. Kitties! Whoa, don't look at that doll's eyes right there. It's kind of freaky. When the kitty's going to attack it, I think. That kitty has lots of toys. Okay. Up to page, what did I say? 34. Kitties some more. Kitties giving hugs to some weird pipe thingy there. No, it's just one of those scratching posts. Up to page 34. And then there's a couple questions about kitties there. And then, next we're going to be doing guinea pigs. That will be our next one starting next week. No homework Saturday and no homework Sunday. I'm not going to give you any work on the weekends, but I'm so glad you're keeping up with your work. Keep up the good work. That's our stuff for today. Next is our field trip. So as soon as your work is done, or whatever Mom and Dad wants you to do, they can show you the field trip video. I'm so excited to do that. And then have a great weekend, and I'll make sure you have a new video on Monday. All right, I'll see you soon.